3, I hope you're getting on okay with the English work. Today's English, we will be looking at fronted adverbials. So I'm just going to put my screen up so that you can see. Okay, so we have done fronted adverbials before. Remember, a fronted adverbial goes at the start of the sentence, so at the front of the sentence. And after you've done your fronted adverbial, you always put a comma in between that and the rest of the sentence. So this is just a random example. I put in the distance, the thunder roared loudly. So in the distance is the fronted adverbial. Now, back to our setting description, because we're going to be using fronted adverbials in our setting description today. So all the descriptive language you've collected over the last couple of days, so your adjectives, your adverbs, your similes, and your alliteration, you should have written that down on a piece of paper and kept that. So today you're going to use that as well as fronted adverbials to create some sentences. So the 3 types of fronted adverbials that we're going to be looking at are when, where, and how. So some examples of when fronted adverbials I've put down for you are early one morning, one summer's morning, during the afternoon, late afternoon. So they're all telling me when something is happening. Now, the reason I haven't picked one winter's morning is because in the picture it's nice and sunny, so it's clearly summer or spring, and I haven't chosen to say that it's nighttime because it's clearly daytime, whether that be the morning or the afternoon. That's completely up to you. So there's 4 examples of fronted adverbials you could use to tell me when something is happening. Another type of fronted adverbial is where. So when you're describing the nouns in the picture, you could start your sentence with where they are. So again, here are just some examples: above the clothes, in the distance, next to, on top of, beside, between. So these are all telling me where something is in the picture. And then the how fronted adverbials tell me how something is done. So these are just adverbs. So I've just listed 4: softly, beautifully, calmly, brightly. So what I would like you to do in a minute is to look at the picture, and then I would like you to come up with some of your own fronted adverbials for when, where, or how. Now, you can use mine, but I also want you to come up with a couple of your own. So choose ones that I haven't done already. You might want to split your page into 3 and do it as a table, like when, where, and how, and then have them in the sort of format that I've got them. But just remember that when is telling you when, what time of day, what type of season it might be. The where, I looked at where things were in the picture, and the how something is being done. So just spend a few minutes collecting those ideas, because these are going to be what you need to help you with your sentences today. Right, so once you've done that, you can have your fronted adverbial sheet in front of you. You can also have your descriptive language sheets from the last couple of lessons, and then you're going to create some sentences. Now, it's up to you how you do this. You can write them down on paper first and then type them up in Purple Mash, or you can just type them straight up onto Purple Mash, whichever's easiest for you. I've done 4 examples here. Now, number 1, my first sentence, I'm looking at the picture, so everything that I'm doing is to do with the setting description. I've put one glorious morning, comma, the glistening sun shone over Neverland. Now, one glorious morning, is it telling me when, where, or how? It's telling me when, isn't it? When it's happening. It's one glorious morning. Then I've got my comma, and you can see I've highlighted it in red so that you can see the fronted adverbial. And then the glistening sun shone over Neverland. I haven't come up with those ideas. Those were some of my adjectives from the previous lesson. So in a previous lesson, I wrote down glistening sun. So I've just used that again. I haven't had to think about that idea. It was already down in my notes. And then I said it shone over Neverland. Number 2, I've put behind the serene sea, mountains towered like giants. So behind the serene sea, is that telling me where, how, or when? It's telling me where, isn't it? Where something is happening. It's happening behind the sea. Now, what I've done here is is even in the fronted adverbial, I've included some descriptive language. So I've used serene C, which is alliteration, double S. After I've done my fronted adverbial, I've got my comma. So behind the serene sea, and I'm telling you what's happening behind the serene sea. The mountains towered like giants. So the mountains towered like giants is a simile that I came up with yesterday. So all I'm doing today is using my ideas and piecing them together like a jigsaw. Okay, my third one, it says, on top of the water, the ship sailed calmly. So on top of the water is my fronted adverbial. Is that telling me where, when, or how? It's telling me where, isn't it? Something is on top of the water. And I said the ship sailed calmly. So I've used an adverb there, calmly, again, using it from a previous lesson. And my fourth one, I've said rapidly, the fresh water cascaded down the colossal mountains into the serene sea. So rapidly is my fronted adverbial. Is it telling me where, when, or how? This one is telling me how something is being done. So rapidly, it's an adverb. And then I've also incorporated other descriptive language in here. Fresh water, fresh being an adjective. Cascaded down the colossal mountain, colossal being an adjective, into the serene sea, which is alliteration, SS. So what I want you to do today is not to come up with any new ideas. I want you to have your fronted adverbials in front of you. I'd like you to have your descriptive language that you've come up with the last couple of lessons. And I just want you to create some sentences. Every sentence you do today must start with a fronted adverbial. Try to mix them up. Don't always have the whens or the wheres or the hows. So I've got a mixture of some fronted adverbials are when, some fronted adverbials are how, some fronted adverbials are where. And then just put your sentences together, put your ideas together. Please make sure you're using capital letters and full stops as well. And you must have the comma after the fronted adverbial. That's really important. Okay, what I'd like you to do is when you go into Purple Mash on your to write activity again, is to write 6 sentences using fronted adverbials and descriptive language. And again, like I reminded you yesterday, when you want to go into a new line, you just press the enter button. And then when you've done that, I need you to save it and then press hand in. Yesterday, a lot of you did press the hand in button, so well done. Some your teachers could see your work, but still some of you were forgetting to press the hand in button. You must press hand in, as we can't see the fantastic sentences you've done. Okay, so I'm going to leave you to do that. Please keep your fronted adverbial sheets, the notes that you make today, because you're going to need it on Thursday and Friday as well. Okay, guys, so good luck with that. And you know, if you need any help, then you can features on the blog.